All right, everybody. I'm feeling a little bit sweaty and a little bit awkward, so I think it's going to be a good night. So yes, my name is MarikaMadness319, and I've written that up for everybody because I know it's a little bit hard to absorb. It's very hard to pronounce. According to Siri and other computer robots, my name is MarikaMadness319, which does have kind of a nice ring to it. In my teens, I went through a phase where I wasn't even sure that I was pronouncing my name right, and I'm kind of still not sure. I think I almost have it. I'd like to share a fun fact about my name. In my early 20s, I learned that Marika is actually Spanish slang for either bottom or soft man. So that's something. And I'd say that probably the most surprising thing about learning this meaning of my name was probably finding out that my husband was gay. But I actually haven't told him yet, so maybe just, don't bug him about it too much. Yeah, but seriously, though, it kind of makes a lot of sense to me. It explains why I've always been a bit of a tomboy, but yet I'm attracted to men. And, honestly, because of this, I have confused a lot of lesbians in my lifetime. I'm sorry about that, ladies. It also explains why my boobs never really grew in. I'm kind of like a rectangle up here. And I don't want to brag, but I can also grow a pretty great mustache. You guys might be able to see it from there. Does the light show my mustache good? So, since we're on the topic of my mustache, I'd like to share some relationship advice with everybody. And I'd say it's probably the main reason that my husband and I are still, that we have a successful long-term relationship. And that's because we share complementary self-conscious issues, regarding hair. So, my husband, he's bald, and he comes from a long line of baldies. And then, as previously established, I'm quite hairy, and it grows really quite fast. When I shave my legs, I'll shave the first one, and, by the time I'm done, it's looking good, feeling even better. On to leg 2, but by the time I'm done that, poof, the hair on the first leg's already starting to grow back. So it makes you feel like a real lady. Let's see. So, all right, a little bit more relationship advice I'd like to share is, whenever possible, when you're having power struggles, is to make those into a game. So for the couples out there, you're probably going to recognize some of these games. One of my favorite games that we play is, flobbering a little bit here. But yeah, some of my relationship advice would be to play fun games like You're Closer. So basically, whoever's closer has to go get the thing, even if they don't want it. And then there's also the, I get half clause. So you just keep track of everything throughout your marriage. And especially if you don't get half, you might want to bring that up later on to your advantage. My husband and I also have one long game that we're playing, and that one's called Free House. So, some of you might know how this works. So basically, if one of us, or if and when one of us dies, our mortgage gets paid off, and then the other one, basically wins a free house. Or that's how the insurance guy explained it to us anyway. Woo, thank you, yay. I don't really want the free house, just to be clear about that. But my wedding really was everything I ever dreamed of. I'm obviously a princess if you look at me, mustache and all. But it really was everything I ever dreamed of. So pretty much first thing on my wedding day, I got my period. And then after that, my mom tried to physically hold me down to put makeup on me. So I was like, oh, this is a good day. I also wore my graduation dress as my wedding gown, and I'm quite proud of the fact that it cost me $42 to get it cleaned at the wet cleaners on Cook Street, so I highly recommend their services. But at the same time, I realized that I had worn a bridal gown to my graduation ceremony, like a total idiot. And I feel like probably everybody else knew that, and I had just come to that realization. So I've been having some high school nightmares about that ever since. And then just one thing I think you guys should all know about me is I like to read a lot. And mainly, I like to read a lot of murder mysteries. Sometimes I wonder, what does that say about me? I worry that at the library they keep a list of people like me who, read a disproportionate amount of murder mysteries. Maybe they have me flagged as being a possible future murder suspect. I'm not sure. I feel kind of awkward. I usually go to self-checkout, so I'm not like, hey, nice lady, I have 23 murder mysteries and then a cookbook and a book about quilting. So one thing I find is that this really does start to affect my daily life. I do a lot of trail running and I run on remote logging roads. And so, I'm always on high alert because I feel like if you're gonna murder me, that's probably where you're gonna wanna do it. So, as I'm running along, I'm, checking for evidence, looking for suspicious footprints and people and vehicles, that sort of thing. Or, even as I'm running, I'm watching for razor wire across the trail, and just so I can hop over it, and it's worked every time, thankfully. Or, just looking for wildlife cameras off trail or hunting blinds. And so, because of this, I like to leave some clues behind when I go for a run, just in case anything happens. I kind of still want to be part of the investigation. So, I leave a list of things. I have 4 things that I leave on the list. I leave, where did I go? What time did I leave? What was I wearing? And then a list of suspects and motives. And so, yeah, I'm just going to awkwardly leave you on that note and thank everybody for coming tonight.